You are listening or watching to the More Than Roommates podcast. I'm Dan.
And I'm Graham.
And today we wanted to talk about video games.
Oh, yeah.
So we just got hooked the past 2 days with the new Lego Fortnite. I am obsessed.
Yeah. Honestly, me too. It drew me in real quick.
Yeah,
I'm not going to lie.
Graham was resistant and...
I was resistant to like a counterpart, like the.
Well, you were wanting to play GTA.
Okay,
for a billionth
fair.
time.
That is fair.
Yes. So it's.
I'm replaying GTA like the definitive edition. So I beat Vice City immediately. Favorite game ever growing up, pretty much. And then I replayed San Andreas, which was like arguably like the best GTA of like the PS2 generation.
Yeah.
And now I'm finally circling back to GTA 3. So.
And I never played them. My parents always had a thing against those games. But Fortnite is just like Minecraft, just slightly different, which I always like those like team building, you manage little resources and stuff. But today we kind of wanted to go
RuneScape
down
vibes.
Yeah, for sure. But we wanted to go down memory lane with video games. So were you a big gamer growing up?
Yeah, so I have all of my game consoles that I've ever owned. I've never sold a single console. My grandparents on my dad's parents on my dad's side, they bought me a Super Nintendo in like, I don't know, 1992 before I could even play it.
Mm-hmm.
But it became mine, as I grew into it. But my earliest memory, my big brother and we've got like about a 10-year-ish gap, not quite 10 years. But I was, I don't know, 4-ish. And he came up to visit, and I just remember sitting there watching him play like Super Mario Kart for like ever. But after that, like when I got to take it home to my mom's, where I lived most of the time, I played all kinds of games like on Super Nintendo, and then I got a PlayStation 1. My dad bought me that when it came out. That has like the most iconic startup intro. Like we're gonna have to throw it in there because
it just put more work for me to do. But
as always.
My first console was a Nintendo 64. I have two older brothers, so I think I was like 4 when we got it. It was interesting. My parents got it for us as a Christmas present, and their plan was to have it all set up when we woke up on Christmas Day. And they were like, well, let's just test it out. And they just got so carried away with it that they played all night. And so when we woke up, they were still playing the game. We came downstairs, and they're like, oh, Merry Christmas.
They opened it.
Yeah, well, they were like, here it is. Look what Santa brought. So that was super fun.
Yeah. So I've got a similar story.
Okay.
So I think my stepbrother so I always got the PlayStations. We both always had Game Boys and Game Gears, had some Sega stuff. But he would get the Nintendos after, the Super Nintendo. So when the N64 came out, we got it for Christmas, and my mom, like, who is like historically not really like a gamer person, she also like immediately, like, it came with the Mario 64, and she went and bought like the guidebook to like kind of help you through it, and she played that game from start to finish.
That's
like me and my brother would like watch my mom play on. We had one of those big tube TVs, that were like super heavy.
Yeah.
But we had it hooked up down in our basement. Oh, such a good time. But
yeah, and it's just so crazy how far games have come. I remember as a kid, I would just always be thinking like, it would be so cool if we could be at home playing with our friends up the street, from each other's houses. And then when we got Wi-Fi, that was just next level gaming. I remember we had a Nintendo Wii. That was like our first Wi-Fi capable console, and we would play video games, and they had dial-up up the street, and their dad would always be on the internet, and we couldn't like call them at the same time. And so
I remember those days.
It is just crazy. I don't think kids today appreciate
how accessible cool and quick everything is.
Like, you can play with 99 people on Fortnite, and it runs smoothly, and
no one bats an eye. Yeah.
Yeah. But Gee, so what kind of games did you primarily play?
Ooh, I always had like every racing game like on all consoles.
Yeah.
That was like a big thing for me for sure. I would say my favorite racing game was like when I got a PS2, it was Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition. It was like the tuner car, you know. I'm a car guy, so
Yeah.
I like cars, so that was just kind of right up my alley, you know,
Yeah.
for sure. But that GTA obviously were staples. I think I probably played that more than pretty much anything else. But I liked Ace Combat. I had that on my PS1, and then I just bought it, remember, a few
Yep.
years ago for PS4 finally.
Yep.
And it is insane playing like flight games now. Like I saw on the box, like you can get a VR set and play it in VR. I think I would get sick. Probably like feeling like I'm flying, you know? I don't know.
That is something we have not ventured into is virtual reality, which I think is just
know.
crazy too because with like the MetaQuest you can like play in a room with people, and then I've even seen videos where like there's like a Nintendo 64 console generated in the VR, so you could like put in a game cartridge and then look at it. It's just mind blowing, just
Yeah.
like the capabilities. But other big video game news this
Yeah.
week is Grand Theft Auto 6 released their first
Yeah.
trailer. So
It got leaked a day
yeah,
early too.
by someone. Supposedly it was like someone's kid or something.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I don't know how true that is.
Yeah,
but
that would be
yikes.
rough.
Yikes for the parent.
But how long has it been since the last game?
2013. It's been over a decade. I actually went to GameStop when GTA 5 came out too, and I thought it was like I went to the midnight release. I thought it was going to be like a crazy line, but it was actually not that bad. But
I just don't understand how they can spend so much time on a game and still have money coming in to still pay their employees and their designers.
oh, I do.
How? Because
they
of-
are milking GTA 5. It's, you think about it, PlayStation 3, the first one I got it on, PlayStation 4, came out on that. Came out on a PlayStation 5, and they do so much online play. Like, they want you to spend real money with, like, expansions and...
So there is microtransaction or
I'm pretty sure that's one thing I don't really... I used to play a lot of GTA 5 online, but I don't know why I stopped doing that.
Yeah.
I think I got tired of getting... KO'd.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it, but
It's just crazy to have this stance where they're going to spend as much time as possible, and then you have Call of Duty that makes a game every year and spends
Yeah.
probably as little time as possible. It's just, do you
everything's
think,
getting so advanced too. Like I can't imagine, like you think about, like a PlayStation 2, like they were releasing games like every year it seemed like for like the franchise or every other year, but
so do you think this new game is going to cost like $100 or like what? I don't even know what they're, because
I
it's
don't
not
know,
going to come
but-
out till 2025 they said,
I
so
know.
it's still got a long time before it comes
Yeah,
out.
theoretically it could be 2 whole years if like I feel like they're known to like push their dates out a little bit too,
That's
like
just-
delaying
Yeah,
the release. So
I'm like,
could be 2 years. I don't know. I don't know how they price games. I
Yeah.
have to like look at comparable thing,
I
But
know.
I don't know. It's gonna be a huge map.
I feel like it'll be
think.
$80 at least.
Oh yeah.
The new trend
Easily.
that I don't like with games that has been a recent thing is they've kind of released the game before it's done, and there's already downloadable content when the game comes out, and you have to pay like extra money. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I just spent $60-$70 and
Yeah.
now there's more just to get the full game. It seems greedy or lazy. Either way, I don't know. It's just...
Yeah.
And what are your thoughts about buying physical copies or just downloading it off the internet?
Well, my dad, I know I talk about my dad every once in a while, but he was always so against like not having a physical version of things, like just like he very much thought, oh, they could take it away from you in a moment's notice.
Yeah.
So I used to prefer physical copies of everything right now I'm a little more flexible, but there's been some drama going on with PlayStation right now too, in
Yeah.
their DVD catalog. I
Yeah.
saw some guy posted some like a screenshot or whatever from, I think he had like some kind of like National Geographic or some kind of like documentaries that he had paid for, and like they're just removing it from the library. Like, you think, back 10 years when you get like when digital was becoming like the new norm, like you thought that it would be out there forever,
Right.
but now we're learning like, okay, technology is advancing, and like DVD, quality is, from like the 90s now, like the late
Yeah.
90s at this point, and just going away. So like, I don't know.
It's
It makes you wonder, because I haven't heard anything about PlayStation or like any other kind of manufacturer like saying, okay, we know this is going away, but like, are you gonna refund them? Are you gonna give them like a Blu-ray copy? Like, I think
I
it
don't
seemed like people are just out, and I'm like, okay, what sense does that make?
yeah, so it like begs to question what
you don't really own it at that
no.
point,
And so yeah, people got a notification that they were shutting down the DVD library, and everyone that had bought digital copies of movies, it's just going away. You don't get a refund.
Yeah.
You don't. And so it begs the question: do you legally own it? Do they owe you something?
I don't know.
Like, and if you buy like, and that's when I got my Nintendo Switch, I liked the idea of digital because I could just carry my Nintendo Switch and have my whole game
and
collection
not
on there.
have to worry about losing a physical cartridge and like
Yeah.
the space. Well, not that like Switch games take up a lot of room. Like, they're like
Digital?
the small. No, I mean.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
The physical copies,
Yeah.
like the actual cartridge and like the case are like some of the smallest. Like, since like
like a
PlayStation
Nintendo
1,
DS,
you know what
yeah.
I mean, or whatever. But I don't know. It's just kind of a pain to hang on to that.
And
but
get up and change it out. But I mean, after this, it's like, man, I'm glad I've been buying digital or physical copies
yeah.
because at any time. And I mean, that goes into like Netflix. Like, Graham has a big DVD collection.
Yeah.
Where I'm just like, dude, like anything we could ever want, we could just pay $3 and rent it online.
Yeah.
But I mean, there is some nicety or whatever to be able to say like, oh, I want to watch this old movie that we have, and we don't have to see
Worry
if it's
about
streaming
our
somewhere.
stinking internet like
Yeah,
lagging or
lagging.
whatever too.
Yeah, but I could see more, and we follow our local game store online, and they keep talking about how video game servers are shutting down, and then you're just out of luck.
SOL, man.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
crazy the game.
The shift, yeah, in the industry.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know what you got to think of the planet too. It is maybe better for the planet to not be like wasting. Well, not wasting, but using
Yeah.
resources to
To make physical
copies, and it's cheaper, obviously, for a company. If they don't have to manufacture something too. But
and then why don't you get a discount?
I don't know.
Why
You
shouldn't
would
it be
think
$5 cheaper?
I know. You
Because-
would think because they have their whole, supply chain process that adds to the cost for a physical copy that you're not having to pay for, or
Yeah.
wouldn't cost them anything either. So you would think it would be cheaper, but are they gonna charge you that? Probably not, I guess.
No, yeah, they gotta get
they're
the
gonna
money.
maximize that profit.
Yeah,
That's
and
what
then
it comes down to.
Fortnite changed the game too, where it's a free game to download, but every 3 months is a new season, so you can buy a pass, and that's how you get the content for that game, like different skins for your characters and stuff. So it's a free game, and it's interesting too because paying for it doesn't increase your gameplay. You don't get new abilities. You don't get new game modes. It's just like skins and stuff. But
That's
I
what
still
kind
pay
of
for
okay.
it.
That kind of made me mad about Fall Guys too. So it was our buddy Sully was the one, I think, that heard of it or something. So I bought it, for PS4, and we played it, and then like a year later they were like, oh, we're becoming a free game
Because they got bought by the people of Fortnite.
Yeah,
And so they
okay.
implemented that strategy. You got a bunch of
Yeah.
free skins
I
for
did,
it.
but it's like, okay, like,
Yeah. Well, increase their player base. Like,
yeah.
and it's so crazy too that
It's more accessible for everyone. Like, you don't have to have a cool skin to play. So
Right. Well, and it's crazy too how games can play with other systems now.
Mhm.
Like last night we were playing, I was on my Switch and you were on your PlayStation, and we could play the same game. And so
Yeah.
it's like, it's crazy too because why it's like molding like which game console you get when a lot of them play the same games.
Yeah.
Like,
But now let's full circle back to GTA 6.
yeah.
So that one's like, it used to be a PlayStation exclusive growing up, and that was like another reason why I wanted to keep getting the PlayStation consoles,
Mhm.
you know? I heard, so we said it's coming out in 2025.
Yes.
But we didn't clarify. That is for PS5 only.
Yeah.
Like, they think it's going to take at least like another year or two to like even come to PC.
That's
right?
kind of what happened with Hogwarts Legacy.
So-
It was for the PlayStation and
Yeah.
Xbox, and then it took a while to get to PS4, and
Mhm.
then even longer for the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
And I think that's fair because it takes a while to downgrade those graphics and make it
Mhm.
run off of a. I mean, the fact that it
Different.
can run on a Nintendo Switch is crazy.
Yeah, like Breath of the Wild looks so good on the
Oh my
Switch.
gosh,
Oh,
best
man.
game.
Yeah.
Ugh, I think it won an award this year for like
Cool.
best adventure game. But yeah, has the social aspect of gaming changed for you over the years?
Oh, totally. Like it went from, like me and like my brother and like either our buddies, friends, or like our cousins sitting there playing GoldenEye. Like every time we would go visit our grandparents, all of us cousins would get together, and one of my cousins, Zach, like him and my uncle, like huge gamer, like he's like a computer guy, my uncle, and they always had like the best newest systems, and they would always bring them, so we'd just be sitting around the TV, and then it's I don't know, it just evolved, like
yeah.
a couple decades later, now you're playing online with
Yes.
random people, and I don't know.
My brother gave me
interesting.
great advice when I went to college. I bought a Nintendo Wii U, which no one bought. It was like the worst performing console that they ever had. It was before.
I didn't even know about it until I saw a meme.
It was bad marketing because they called it the Wii U. So
Yeah.
people thought it was just like an add-on for the Wii, but it was a whole new console. It was after the Wii, before the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
And it was only $200 when I got it. So I was like, yeah, let me get this. And it had the new Super Smash Brothers, and it was the first console that you could play 8 players
8
on one console.
Wow.
And so I brought
Heard
that to the
about that.
dorm, and we would put it up in the lobby,
Mm-hmm.
and all the people would come and hang out.
Yeah.
And it was super fun, and it helped me make friends. I would even come home from class, and my
Mm-hmm.
roommates would have brought the Wii U to the lobby, and they were playing it, and I was like, that's
Yeah.
fun.
Okay, so I'm in like the very clearly millennial generation. So my buddies and Lawrence, who like back in our like college partying days, and I'm gonna give a full disclosure. The game is called Drunk Driver, but it consisted of us. Like my buddy Sean had like an N64, and we would play Mario Kart 64. But after the light would change to green, you had to chug your entire drink before you could race.
And
And
you
then
had
the
to set-
quickest person to like chug it down, set it, and then race her and win was the winner or whatever, right? So
Yeah, you had
it
to
was fun.
set down your controller every time you wanted to drink, so you couldn't
Yeah.
drive and drink at the same
Mhm.
time. Because
Yeah.
again, don't drink and drive.
Exactly.
Do
Yeah,
it in a
yeah.
video game. But yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely video games have just
Yeah.
kinda changed the
I've just had like so many different iterations of things too. Like me and my brother got the Game Boy Colors when they came out, and then oh my gosh, when the Game Boy Advance came out, I got that for my birthday. My brother was so mad that I got a Game Boy Advance because it had just come out.
Oh,
It was like
man,
brand new.
that rivalry.
And like, yeah, it was wild.
well,
but-
and even something crazy that's changed in our lives too is esports. Like kids in college get signed on for scholarships by playing like on a Fortnite team or something.
Yeah.
Like, that is just crazy. Our parents were like,
It's
"Don't
where the
waste your
money's
time
at."
for playing these games."
Yeah.
'cause-
right.
oh, gosh.
It's just ingrained into society now. I saw the other day there was just some clip on like Instagram or something, and this gamer, like professional gamer, was on Steve Harvey, Family Feud.
Okay.
And this is back in like 2015. He was a Halo,
Yeah.
like a master professional Halo player. well, like fast forward like a few years later, they weren't really razzing him too bad, but sorry, I'm kind of like jumping around. This is like living with me, honestly. Like, I have a story, and then
Yeah.
Anyway, he went back on Family Feud like a few years later, and he's pulling in like $1 million, like a month or something. He said, like streaming Fortnite, and it's just like, our parents. They crushed us. They were like, no, you got to go to college. Like, don't play too many video games.
Yeah, you're not going to make any money.
Okay, well, I'm like, I would rate myself as like, even though I played a lot of games growing
You're a
up,
casual
like,
gamer.
I'm more of a casual gamer.
Yeah, you don't
say.
like the professional
like,
or the
I'm
competitive
not like
play.
a super competitive player.
No, but
so,
now that I got this new PC.
Well, thanks, Mom, for sending me to college.
Yeah.
It was for you knew me better than I.
Yeah, no, I think I'm going to try to jump on the trend late, but now that I got this gaming PC, I'm going to try my Twitch streaming capabilities, see if we can
I want to
pick
get
up there.
GTA 5 on there so I can so again,
What's different?
Being a car guy, you can download mods on the PC so I can have like real world cars, you know what I mean?
Whoa.
Instead of like the fake,
Go
ones they
for
make in
it.
the game, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I want to start streaming on Twitch, so if you guys would be interested at that, follow me there. I'll probably stream on my brother's account,
Yeah.
but I think that would be fun. I just like hanging out and chatting with people and playing games casually.
Yeah. Okay, so I got to ask you, do
Okay.
you have any like family video game stories like with I don't know, just in general?
So the one that comes to mind is my brothers and I were very close. We had just gotten the Nintendo Wii, and if you remember when that console came out with the motion controls, it was a new concept. We were playing Wii Tennis, and my brother
God, I loved Wii Tennis.
whacked my other brother in the head with the controller, and my brother didn't say a word. He just turned around and donkey kicked him backwards, and he slammed into the wall. And my parents
Word.
opened up the door, and they're like, "What was that?" And my brother's like, "I tripped." Didn't rat him out. That's kind of what comes to mind. We always played Pokemon and Super Smash together.
That's cool, yeah. We so one I can think of right away. This is a very niche console, kind of like the Wii U, but it was the Sega Nomad. So we had a Genesis, or no, we never had a Genesis, but I had a Sega Game Gear. It was kind of a big one. Man, those things ate batteries too.
Oh yeah.
But the Nomad came out. It was kind of short-lived. It was a big kind of handheld, like the next generation Game Gear, I guess, or something. And I was probably in, I don't know, like second or third grade, and I was so bored at school, or maybe not bored. I just remember wanting to be at home playing that. I remember faking being sick, like raising my hand, saying, I don't feel good. And then like, I remember like hanging out in the bathroom for a little bit, like just pretending that I was like sick or whatever. And my teacher ended up calling, and my mom ended up coming and picking me up from school or whatever. And she knew I was faking. Oh, she
was
could have
on to you.
kicked my ass. But that was exactly what I did. I bolted for my bedroom. I felt so much guilt from that.
Calling out was like the
But then I
worst thing.
shut my door, and like I was playing this racing game on my Nomad.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Oh, she was so mad.
Yeah, my parents would always know. They would give me like a huge list of chores to do before they got home if I stayed home. And it was
Yeah.
obvious if I was faking or not. So,
Yeah.
gosh.
Well, I didn't get in too much trouble or have to do anything like that. But
Yeah.
I learned a lesson, you know what I mean? Just, I don't know. Your parents can give you the look,
And
like
they know.
child, you ain't slick.
No. Okay, well, I think that should do it. Let us know what games you've played. Or
What's your favorite console?
Yeah.
Your favorite game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What should we play?
Yeah,
Let
what
us know.
should we play? Besides Lego Fortnite, because I'm planning on playing that for quite a while.
Me too, for sure. Okay, we will talk to you guys
All
next
right.
time.